This is for DMs. I'm going to spoil everything, so players, get out of here. I'm hoping this will speed up your prep or refresh your memory before you plan to play that day. I just hope it helps. Extended reading you might need if you can expand it at all. This chapter begins by saying, days, months, or even years pass after the events of Chapter 1. The passing of time until your players get pulled against their will to a meetup because of a wish spell kind of misfired means you could run an entire one-shot or the starter sets and then come back to this as if time's passed. For example, you could run that free Lost Caverns of Soj Khan that I did a guide for. It's only a sample of a bigger adventure what's coming out, but you could homebrew something if you... Depends on your confidence level, doesn't it? You could wing it, meander, experiment to fill in that time has passed. Or you could play it safe and easy and use the D6 table for interim events as a sort of descriptive cutscene. Determined to find answers about what happened to them, the characters worked as protection for gravediggers in Netherdeath Graveyard. They fought undead, grave robbers, and sometimes even devils who served evil cultists. Number 3, the character became obsessed with the cult of Vecna, researching it in prominent libraries and memorising historical accounts of its activities. As a result, they know everything the Wizards 3 tell the party about Vecna except his attempts to recreate the multiverse. Look, fill in how you will. One way or the other, your players get to Sigil. I know how it looks to read, but it is pronounced Sigil. Fact. And that's the end of it. And I know you can't teleport to Sigil. You have to go through one of the doors. It's called the City of Doors. Doors meaning portals. The module actually explains this law break by saying the Lady of Pain herself, she's like an overseeing god force who can even bar gods from entering Sigil. That she knows what Illustrial of Silvery Moon is doing, and because she knows that Illustrial is very nice, good, trustworthy, she allows it to happen. Or you could explain it away that the Lady of Pain knows that the end of everything is at hand. So, let the good people, powerful people, do what they can. Illustrial is the daughter of Mystra, god of magic. She's damn powerful. So the Planescape box set has all the info you need to expand on Sigil. But realistically, this module just contains you in the Sanctum, Illustrial's private sanctum. Okay, let's back out. Sigil, if you don't know, is at the centre-ish of the Great Wheel and also nowhere. Get out a map in the real world and point to where heaven is. That's where Sigil is. You get the idea. But Sigil is donut-shaped, so imagine being inside a donut and looking at the wall so it'll stretch all the way above you, back round and round in a donut formation. It's also situated at the top of a very needle-pointed mountain, which is in the centre of the Outlands, which at the very edge of the Outlands has 16 towns called gate towns, which touch other areas of the Great Wheel, and we're getting off topic. It's not important. Rather than zooming out, let's zoom in. In Sigil, in the Sanctum, Area 1 is a library. Now these books can be used to buff the players, or info dump on them. Arcane Artifacts and Curious Curios has a good list of books in, but I'm going to use from rollandplaypress.com, link in description. Their products I back. Get a discount, look in the doobly-doo. So roll tables for books, for example. A tattered and dusty book with some pages missing. The dark leather on the cover is embellished with black jewels which glow slightly. A sapphire is stamped into the cover of this book with ornate metal clasps. A fiction book, roll table, my own secret dream, historical essay, the Century of the Throne, magical tomes, notes on familiars, tome of illusions. So easy. Basically, loads of books that they'll probably have a little sneaky peek in. Area 2 is a heavenly scene of marvel, plants, shrubberies, beautiful garden, the actual portal entry, the official way in. Area 3 is where the wonky wish spell teleports the players. Because Wish is basically a hand-wavy spell which ignores the rules, and handily papers over any cracks. They look around, they see curious trinkets. Again, a pair of well-used rigged dice that always land on 6. A harmonica made from bone with bronze gilding and floral details. A small wooden box contains silver pieces with a cloudy blue gem. Whatever curious things come to mind. There are also desks around with paperwork on. Area 4 has 2 fireplaces and is lounges full of plush sofas. 5, 6, 7, 8 are bedrooms. Bedroom 5 is Illustra and her wife Milena's room. 6 is Tasha's room. 7 is effectively the player's empty room. 8 is fake Maud and Kanan's room, Cass, with clues that he's really a fake, after all. And then we're on to the Wizards 3 section. The 3 strong wizards kind of represent good, neutral and chaotic, but with Tasha being the fickle, snarky one of the 3. And don't forget that fake Maud and Kanan Cass is a vampire at heart, so the real Maud and Kanan information is useless. Cass does his best to conceal this lie, but it is nice to drop some breadcrumbs about him acting suspiciously. It would be nice for the players to suspect that something's not right with Maud and Kanan, if you ask me. Enough that they go to his quarters, his bedroom, find a bag of holding. You could turn it. Normally, you'd have to reach in and ask for an object, but you can turn it inside out. Everything falls out. There's a book written in ciphers, but it does say K and V a lot, and reward the players with a secret reroll thing that carries on through this book. So yeah, fight might break out between Cass and the players, and you're just going to have to follow that to its natural conclusion and let the chips fall where they may. But you could have Maud and Kanan escape to be fought later, that'd be nice. I expect they probably won't even suss it, which is also its nice own thing for the betrayal later on. So finally, you get the players to sigil. Flash. Tasha will sneer, "You can't be the answer to our wish." Illustrial basically plays good cop, and modern Cassian, if you like, keeps his mouth shut after sabotaging this wish spell off-screen. The Wizards 3 basically said, "Show us the solution to Vecna's plan." And then these idiots bamfed in. Heads are scratched before it's accepted that the answer may well lie in these chumps, and they are somehow tied into Vecna's plan and will hopefully defeat him. Meanwhile, Maud and Kanan, I imagine, excuses himself and goes to the bathroom, looking in the mirror going, "My plan is working." So Illustrial explains that Vecna is on the rise again. He's got his cultists stealing secrets and using them as a power source that will eventually be enough to do something to overthrow the universe, because that's what Vecna is all about. So Maud and Kanan will come in and say, "Actually, I have been working on a plan B. This charm of exile could banish Vecna. Vecna will need to be weakened before the banishment happens. Basically, dropped to 50 health points. There's an artifact called the Rod of 7 Parts, which is a coincidental name because it's in 7 parts and separated throughout the multiverse. Maybe if they'd just named it the Rod, it would still be together. Anyway, I've been working with a load of magic to do things you wouldn't understand, and I've located at least the first part. The first piece is in the Underdark, inside a safe house of worshippers of Lolth, the Spider Queen. It's known as Web's Edge. Find that piece, and it will point to the second piece, and you assemble those together, and it will point to the third, and so on. As you find each new piece, come back here, and rest or whatever, before using the portal again to travel close to the next piece. Weaken Vecna, banish his ass, and bingo bango Bob's your uncle. Multiverse saved. Why can't us 3 powerful beings do it? We've got taxes to do or something." So Illustrial and Tasha will be a bit surprised at how much thought has been put into this plan B, and what if this wish spell doesn't work. I mean, it's a finger click and it should have worked. But hey, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Illustrial,
"We will research for potential weaknesses, while you basically go off and risk your pathetic mortal lives."
the chime will banish anyone under 50 hit points. In this case, to a place called Oerth, a crystal sphere in the centre of grey space. Not at all yours or my concern in this adventure. Vecna basically would be reset for a time, like Voldemort in Harry Potter. So the players will eventually go through this portal to the subterranean network of tunnels under the Sword Coast. Welcome to the Underdark, peeps. Subterranean systems, caves, networks, rivers, cities, dragons, drow, Durgar. You can pluck terrain encounters out of the abyss. Creature encounters. You could get well sidetracked or simply stick to Web's Edge. A door opens in the wall to a lightless cold cave system. The door back to Sigil is still there and open, but it's invisible. The second invisible door nearby has 8 symbols carved around it or over the top of it, and inside the grooves of the weird writing is actually written in common different letters in an anagram formation that sort of say Web's Edge, basically. So you might choose to have the door shimmer into existence to move things along, showing itself to those who seek it. It seems to suggest in the book that the letters are jumbled up and they have to press these 8 letters in the correct order for the door to appear. You already have an idea of how you're going to do that, because an invisible door into pitch black to find another invisible door and not have them wander off seems like a bad move. For those wanting to move on, you need to understand that Web's Edge is a secret place solely for devoted Lolth worshippers. Many will not leave Web's Edge in order to ensure its existence remains a closely guarded secret-ish. So the Underdark itself is filled with monsters who live in the dark, and so light sources will just signify walking food. Players should probably be tipped off about this, and how they're going to enter this effectively secret stronghold. They'll probably need to infiltrate Web's Edge for the rod piece to be snatched with the least problem. Disguise self, charming your way in. But the network of Loth's followers can't all be known. So just rocking up disguised as a drow or wearing spider-shaped fashion will probably get you in so far. The Spider Queen smiles on you will be an often heard phrase. So beyond the invisible anagram double doors in the dark, in a crevice, is another fake area to stop the wrong people entering too deeply. There's like fake, broken, mouldy wagons, several dwarf, elf, gnome and tiefling skeletons clutching rusty weapons, and they seem to have dropped rubies, so anyone would think, oh, I've discovered this secret area, and there's treasure. And when they touch the rubies, 12d8 thunder damage on a failed DC 20 dex save. So the idea is that will kill anything, and therefore Web's Edge is kind of safe. Just don't touch the rubies. Now further down to Area 2, there's a Durgar mage and a hobgoblin assassin. They are praying at a shrine with repulsive items on it. If you look up, there's a spider-shaped rock carving, whatever, on the ceiling. Makubi and Torkner are covert Lolth criminals who players could play along with to get access to Web's Edge or kill them and take on their persona. A mage, AC 12, unless you've already instigated mage ammo, which is give it a 15, that's fine. Average health is 40. Work backwards from Cone of Cold, Ice Storm, Fireball, Counterspell. Get some good ones in if your fight breaks out. That's pretty much mages for me. Assassin, AC 15, 78 average health, resistant to poison, has advantage on the first turn on attack rolls against creatures that haven't taken a turn. If the assassin manages to hit, it's a critical hit against a surprised creature. It can reduce dex save damage down to half or nothing. Does a sneak attack extra 14 average damage on top of normal attacks. It has 2 short swords plus 6, doing 6 piercing average. DC 15 con save, taking 24 average poison. Light crossbow plus 6 to hit. 7 average, DC 15, blah 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 blah. Same sort of thing. In Area 3, there's a Sverfneblin or deep gnome called Grottenel. They're performing a ritual to summon a Glabrezu in a pentagram. There's a table that has a scroll of Circle of Death, and a +2 dagger, and a load of oils worth 500 gold pieces. Glabrezu, Large Fiend, armor class 17, 157 health. I do full health, so I made that 225 in my game. Speed is 40 feet, notice that. Resistant to cold fire, lightning, bludgeoning, piercing and slashing. Can't be poisoned. Can speak with telepathy in their minds. Can cast Power Word Stun. Do it. Confusion's probably useful. It makes saves with advantage against magic stuff. And then just 4 attacks, 2 pincers, +9 to attack, 16 average. You can grapple with that. And then the other 2 fists pounding, +9, 7 average on each attack. I like it, that's tanky. A sphere of negative energy ripples out in a 60-foot sphere from a point within range. Each creature makes a con saving throw, 8d6 necrotic damage, half on a save. A necrotic death circle, as it says. 4 is a corridor. In 5, a Nalfeshni named Maltok, who's a prison guard and he carries keys to the cells. There's also a chest with a club leaning up against it. Nalfeshni, Large Fiend, AC 18, 184 average health. Resistant cold fire, lightning, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. Can't be poisoned again. Advantage on saves. It makes 3 attacks plus a horror nimbus. So the horror nimbus, it emits flashing light to basically frighten the players. And don't forget, it can teleport around. And basically its bite is +10 to do 32 average, and its claws are 10, +10 to hit, and 15 slashing average. Alright, in cell 1, a Cyclops named Gertrude, who knows not much useful. She has a little story, which is a secret and gets you the rerolls thing. She has a deep gnome friend called Roxana. They discovered that 2 mining operation leaders are actually secret Loth cultists. In cell 2, there's a dead corpse of an elf. Maybe they can see the cork of something just popping out of its robes. It's a, potion of fire resistance. In 3, a bugbear appears to be very deep sleeping. He's dead. In 4, a Grimlock called Srill. He's actually a devotee of Lolth and on the baddies' side, if you will. But he accidentally insulted a Yoklol in Area 12, and so maybe chat will have the players think that this guy, is worth confiding in and revealing their true identity, in which case he will betray them because he's a supporter of Lolth. So back to that first chest, with a club against it. The club is actually a +2 great club, which changes sizes to fit any character. It's problem sorted. And then there's a +1 dagger and a +1 longsword. A Cyclops, a giant. AC 14, 138 average health. Disadvantage on any attack rolls against a target more than 30 feet away, because it's high up. 2 great club attacks, +9 to get 19 average bludgeoning. And so that Gertrude has to run over and get the club for a start, because it doesn't have a weapon. Potion of fire resistance, when you drink it, you gain resistance to fire damage for 1 hour. The Grimlock, which is actually a bad guy, AC 11, hit points rubbish. 11, really. +5 to attack if it has its club, and that's 5 bludgeoning, +2 piercing because of the spike. They're quite squishy, surprisingly squishy. 7 is a meeting room with maps and schematics on the walls. Then there's a table in the middle with loads of paperwork on it, several cloaked figures and an Erinyes called Fernither, leading a discussion about attacks on this deep gnome mine nearby. The robed figures consist of an elf assassin called Jolera, 2 mages, Bromtok and Shiruk 2, and 2 Grimlocks called Roth Arnie and Charlotte. Erinyes, that's how I'm saying it. Erin, no. AC 18, 158 average health. She can fly 60 feet. Standard expected resistances unless silvered weapons. Who silvers their weapons? Not many people. Immune to fire and poison. Don't even try. Telepathically goads you in your head. Deals an extra 13 poison damage on a hit. Advantage on saving throws against magical fandangere. +8 longsword attacks with 3 at a time. 8 average slashing, 9 slashing if two-handed, +13 poison. Parry. The Erinyes adds +4 to its AC against an attack that would hit it. Kind of a shield reaction, but not quite. 8 is just a secret door to Area 12, full of cobwebs and 2 monsters. Area 9, a meat-smelling room where 4 giant lizards sit on the rocks, docile, potential helpers, dumb animals that can be lured with some meat. Come on, follow me, bite him, allow what the players do. You know, we should never say no to a player. We should always try and bend things so that they do what they want to do. In my opinion, the story doesn't come first, you don't come first, they come first. Now, don't get me wrong, I have said no, and I always have trouble computing whether it was the right thing to do. It's, come on, you could have just said, okay, hey, it's your call, it's your game, and you're correct. Giant lizard, large beasts. AC 12, 19 average. A bitey for +4 to do just 6 piercing. Some lizards can have spider climb. Area 10 is 5 bedrooms with small little locked chests and a seemingly innocuous table. The chests all have ceremonial holy symbols of Lolth. You might find 2 potions of superior healing and a gem of seeing. The desk gives off an aura of conjuration magic. Touching the desk magically summons a swarm of spiders. DC 18 dex save or 8d4 poison damage. Once that's happened, you can go in the desk. And there's notes about a new covert mining operation attack. Plus a lot of spider-themed, gem-encrusted bits and bobs worth 500 gold. There's also boxes of dried meat, herbs, salt, flour, sugar, oil, improvise, you know. And an icebox full of meat that can be used to control those giant lizards if they think about it. Superior healing. You gain 8d4 plus 8 hit points when you drink the potion. Gem of Seeing has 3 charges. As an action, you speak the command word. For the next 10 minutes, you have True Sight. Area 11 is a passageway with a load of discarded bones in a pile from food, you know. Area 12, okay, final room. A massively webbed area between stalagmites and stalactites. A reptilian spidery thing called a spider dragon who goes by the name Kurak is near a Yoklol called Yelelith. They fight to the death and the webs restrain the players and act as difficult terrain but can be torched and burnt down in sections. I'd advise putting the whole sticky web thing up front and then causing the players to say, well, I'm just burning hands, I just swing my torch. It's like, yeah, okay, cut through. But, you know, just put that in the mind that it's full of sticky webs. And right down the room is a small silk-looking bundle. Or place it on your gridded map wherever you want. That is the wrapped-up rod piece. The Spider Dragon is AC 17, 152 average. Okay, 50 foot speed and 60 foot speed. That is fast and scary. Resistant to poison and psychic. Fine. Has the usual saves against magic stupid stuff. It can be on the ceiling without an issue. Doesn't mind the webs. Makes a bite attack. +9. Reach of 10. 10 piercing plus 13 poison. Claws you twice. +9, +9. And then 12 and 12. Gives a recharge to its spiderling breath, which I always say naturally is all ready to go first time. Then you recharge next time you want to use it. It exhales venomous spiderlings. That's cool. DC 15 or taking 33 piercing damage and 33 poison because you're covered in spiders. Bonus action. I'm going to do it again. Stifling webs. Difficult terrain. You're restrained. I'm going to recharge and go for that next turn in your face. Players. The Yoklol. AC 15, 136 average. Resistant to cold fire. Lightning, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. If non-magical. Can't be poisoned. Shape changes into a female, drow, or a giant spider. Has advantage against magic. Can climb and hang upside down like an acrobat. Use its dominate person, and it's not affected by the webbing. Bear that in mind. It will make 2 slam attacks, +6. 10 feet reach in demon form. Does 5 average, plus 21 poison. Turns into mist, appears where it wants, and tries to poison you. While poisoned, you're also incapacitated. Sucks to be you! So fight to the death. Get the rod piece, return to Sigil, and Illustriel's wife, Melena's there. She will offer for the players to seek information, and potentially seek magic items for the players. Dun, dun, dun. Now I would, however many players they are, draw a random magic card each and say, okay, that's what she'll get you if you want it. If it's not right for them, too bad. That's how I do it. But, you know, Melena might say, I can get you a bag of holding. Yeah, sure. I can get you a +1 longsword. Whatever. I mean, this is the fate of the universe, you know? I draw cards. I don't care about game breaking. And even when I care about game breaking, I still go through with it next time and wonder why I did. But I make it work, and it's fun, it's memorable. The players are superheroes. Make them feel powerful. You are the DM. You can crush their bloody souls. You can steal their magic items. Everybody wants their magic items. Give your enemies telekinesis. It just basically flies their weapon across the room, out of their hands, into a fire, a molten lava, whatever. You give so that you can take, so that you can give back, and they end up the heroes. Hey, do you remember when you had that broom of flying? Oh yeah, the one that you threw in a lava pit or a dragonate. Yeah, but it was fun for 4 sessions, wasn't it? All I really ask of you is to comment, or to go further and join the Facebook group of community that I have. Easy to get in touch with me. And hey, go back to your prep. See you later.